And good afternoon for the second day in a row. Young David, how's it going?
All right. It's good to see you. 2 days in
It's
a row.
been a long time. Alan says hello once again from Barnsley. These guys in the UK stay up the latest, I swear. I love it. Hey, Alan, what's going on? It's been a busy couple of days. 2 Daring Lives in a row. We had a good time yesterday with young Jamie Stone, who we had a good conversation with, urging everyone to go check that out. Really interesting guy, actually.
Yeah. He's got his hands on a lot of things, and we need to get him back on and talk about a few more things that he's involved in.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's also a career coach, which grabbed my attention yesterday for the music industry. He seems to have a pretty decent reach into guiding young and budding musicians into the right areas, shall we say. So really, really good stuff to have him on. And that is live for a rewatch now. New location today. I have moved studios. The factory's right through that window. So in theory, everyone's finished for the day, but it might be a bit loud, but we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to give my sales guys a break from having to be quiet because there's a hot mic in the office. So we're going to try and revamp this little new studio. But if there is a bit of noise, apologies. And then if you are watching now, if you're watching on Colton's Twitch account for the first time, come to Daring Live. If you like what you want to see, if you're into Banjo, you want to know more, come meet our guests, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. We'd love to have you as part of our ever-growing community. So I think without further ado, let's talk to the man himself.
Yeah,
lots to talk about. Let's bring in banjo player from the Dead South, our good friend, Mr. Colton Crawford.
What's up, guys?
There he is. Hey. Colton.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. Doing really well.
Good. Welcome. You are just days away from heading out on tour.
Yeah, we leave Thursday. Big year of touring. New album drops on Friday, so it's been pretty busy. Pretty busy around here. Last couple of days at home, we're just trying to had a little lay in bed with the wife day today, watch some Netflix and hang out, get those days in before we take off. So
quality family time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to get into all of that and a whole bunch more banjo stuff as well in a little bit here. But as we do on Daring Live, do you want to open us up with a bit of a tune?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, a little bit of Cherokee Shuffle, huh?
You got it, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dave knows who knows some of the history of that song? Dave?
Go for it, Colton.
I don't, actually.
I'm sure someone in the chat's going to tell us. We should also say hi. This is the first time we've streamed out to our Instagram feed. So anyone watching on Instagram, thank you very much for joining us. Technology is a wonderful thing. But and as always, if you have any questions, do let us know in the chat. So you had a busy year last year, and you're gonna have a busier year
Yeah.
on for you guys, right?
Yeah.
I want to touch on, before we kind of segue into the new album, the single, which is A Little Devil.
Yeah.
And we can get into that a little bit too, but that was filmed, most of it was from your performance at the Ryman in Nashville, right?
Yes. Yeah. First
How
time
was
playing
that?
there.
Because that was quite a momentous occasion.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. When we found out that we were playing there, we were obviously really excited. It was one of those shows that like we couldn't announce for a long time, so we kind of knew about it for a while but couldn't talk about it or anything.
Yeah.
And once it got announced, it sold out pretty quickly, and it was like it was pretty neat to be like kind of bluegrass guys from Saskatchewan, you know, getting the invite to play there was pretty awesome. And it's like a pretty obviously like pretty special venue for our style of music, so it was a real honor. And the crowd was like, they were amazing. It was really like a special show.
Yeah. What was the reception like? Because I mean, obviously, there's people that are your fans, but typically with places like the Ryman, there's also people that just go to the Ryman because there's always good music happening, right?
Yeah.
Was it a really good response in general?
Amazing response. Like we walked out on stage and people just went ballistic before we had even played the first note. It was pretty it was pretty insane. Yeah.
That's really cool. I remember seeing some of your posts, like just during sound check, you know.
Yeah.
So it certainly seemed like you were all kind of soaking in the moment, shall we say.
Yeah. And that was supposed to be the first show of that tour. But because it was the Ryman, we were like, you know what, let's add a warm-up show the night before. So we played like it's like a East Side Bowl, I think it was called. It was like a bowling alley / music venue.
Yeah.
And twice during the set, the soundboard died. So we had to play one song totally acoustic, and then the second time we just like left the stage for a little bit while they figured it all out. So it's a really good thing we added that show, because we got a new soundboard for the Ryman show the next day. So
Wow.
yeah, good thing.
Yeah. Well, you're in the right city for that kind of stuff. If anything's going to go wrong musically, then
Exactly.
I think Nashville's a good spot to kind of pick something up there. That's great.
Yeah.
And kind of similar vein, you're kicking off the tour. What are we now? The 6th. So on the 10th, this Saturday at Grand Ole Opry.
Yep. Exactly similar sort of thing. Like just crazy to be playing there for doing what we do, and to get the invite was pretty amazing. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
You seem pretty humbled by it. Like, I think you seem very aware of like the kind of the steps that have stood on those stages before you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I didn't grow up kind of in that world either. Like I didn't grow up listening to bluegrass or like country even all that much. It was not until we started the band and I started playing banjo that I kind of started to research sort of that whole genre a little bit more. So it's just like to kind of come from that is like it's very very humbling, and I want to like treat it kind of with the respect that it deserves. I do kind of feel like an outsider coming into the Ryman and the Opry and that kind of thing. So
a little imposter syndrome.
A little bit, yeah.
You shouldn't. I mean, you guys have earned it. Like I don't know how it works as far as do you ask them or do they invite you?
You know, that's a good question. Like we're kind of at the point now where we don't book our own shows anymore, so that's really nice. But I know
they
for the Ryman, for the Ryman, like I know our American agent had been working on it for a while, and then eventually they said yes. So what exactly was the tipping point? I'm not exactly sure, but yeah,
just open threats, probably. You know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is that one of the ones that, I mean, you got to be looking forward to that one, but there's a host of other places like, you know, you're at where are you playing? Austin City Limits this year.
Yeah.
Playing a bunch of the House of Blues shows. You're coming to San Diego. We talked about that in August. And then you're heading out to Australia too.
Yeah. Australia, New Zealand next month, I believe. March, April. Yeah, we've done that once before. We went last January, and it was awesome. Like, the shows were big. It was our first time there, but they were just as big as they are like in the States and the UK and everywhere else. Beautiful weather, amazing food. It was awesome. Can't wait to go back.
Do you have a favorite city?
You got like your following in Australia without being there before, without kind of.
Just the internet, man. YouTube, like YouTube has been so big for us. When In Hell I'll Be in Good Company blew up on YouTube and Reddit, that was just kind of like just sort of spread all over the world. And it was one of those things, like, for years and years, every time we'd make a tour post, people would say, please, like, we'd get so many posts from Australians, and we could look at the Spotify analytics, and we could tell that we had, like, a big following there. So, yeah, when we went there, it was like we started, I think pretty much every venue that we initially booked got upgraded for that first tour.
Wow.
They sold out. Yeah, it was crazy. It's mental.
Yeah, there's a thirst for it. I think there's a thirst for just, really good live, authentic music, right? I think you guys, excuse me, deliver that really well. It's pretty much stripped down. No crazy effects and that kind of stuff. It's just high energy,
Yeah.
good acoustic stuff, which people just really appreciate, I think, these days.
Yeah.
You're playing it. Go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, we find we get a lot of fans that are like fans of other genres as well. We get a lot of like metal and punk fans who like our shows, and then you also get the bluegrass fans, and you get the folk fans and everything. So that's like always it's a really like big compliment when people just really like all these different types of music, but they still like to come to our shows. It's like really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also that whole crossover thing. I mean, bands like the Native Howl, right? That we work with those guys as well, and
They're awesome.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
There's a pretty big like metal, rock crossover into the acoustic world. I think Alice Cooper was like, "Whoa, Banjo, what are we doing?"
Yeah, I saw that thing. He's talking about the Native Howl. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Someone was asking in the chat, San Diego House of Blues show. No, it's San Diego. It's the Sound. We were just talking about this before we came on air. Actually, it's the Sound is in Del Mar, just north of downtown, up the 5. Pretty new venue. And I was just saying, I saw the String Dusters up there late last year, something like that. Really, really good show especially for acoustic music. It sounded great, looked great. So anyone in the San Diego area, come check them out because they're going to be good. And that is August 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So going back to the video for the single, and the single in general. So it's called "A Little Devil."
Yeah.
First single off the album. How much fun was that to make? Because that's a kind of, I'm not gonna say classic Dead South song, but it's you can tell instantly.
Yeah, it is a classic Dead South one.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was one of the ones that Nate, he'd been working on it for like a couple of years. We jammed it like here and there, kind of between. I think the first time I jammed that one with Nate was over COVID, actually.
Oh, okay.
So he's been kind of messing around with that one for a while, and we always knew it was going to be a good one. Like you said, it is just classic. It's classic Dead South. I don't even know what I mean by that, but you're like, yeah, it's just like, it's such a Nate song, like he's got a really, like a style that he writes in. And it was just really, really fun. Like, I love just coming up with banjo parts to songs that Nate wrote. Like, it's fun to like write something from scratch and try and come up with something that's going to become a song. But I really, really like it when the other guys write something and then I have these like parameters that I got to work within and then come up with something interesting on the banjo, like within that song or that part or whatever it is. So it was really, really fun to work on, and the reception for it seems to be pretty good. So it's pretty exciting.
402,000 views ain't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
When coming up with banjo parts on a new tune, how do you kind of, do you have a process of a tune that's not yours? How do you have a process of kind of finding something that's fresh that you aren't just doing on another sort of song?
Yeah.
Finding something that makes it for that song.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
not just playing the chords.
Yeah, a lot of what I'll do is like if Nate comes up with a song, for example, we'll sit down and start jamming it. I'll play it once in 3-finger style, or a couple times we'll jam it. I'll see if anything. I'm kind of like interested in anything that I'm just kind of coming up with when I'm just messing around.
Right.
And then we'll do claw hammer a couple times. I'll play with a guitar pick a couple of times, and then there's usually like something somewhere where I'm like, I kind of like this. I like this part 3-finger style. So then let's make this a 3-finger song and see what else I can kind of do to make the song interesting. And I try not to repeat things that I've done in the past too much. I mean, you're obviously still playing 3-finger style banjo, so it's going to be similar, but I'll usually take whatever I'm working on at the time and see if I can incorporate that into the new song. So, and then also it's just like the part has to it has to fit this. Like this part has to serve the song. It shouldn't be like, nothing should be forced. Like there's some songs where it's just like, just rolls, simple like forward backward rolls, and maybe some like some offbeat chops, and that's all the song needs, and then that's all the song. That's all the song needs. Yeah.
And do you ever, because you play multiple styles, do you ever combine the styles in the same song?
One time there's one song that I play clawhammer. It's on our first album. I play clawhammer for the whole song till the very end, and then I pick up a guitar pick, and there's a big banjo solo at the end.
Okay.
But other than that, I just the one style per song.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's tough to pull off live, switching styles.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's what I like about your playing is, you say you speak to the song. Sometimes it's just you're using it to drive the song along and just really give it that lift that it needs. Other times it's quite subtle, and maybe you're playing some more delicate upper register stuff just to complement while the other guys, maybe the mandolin players, kind of going off or something like that, and without getting in his way. I think all four of you do a really good job with that. But it's just that's what makes it kind of a classic Dead South song in a way.
It all works together pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of us are ever trying to take over the song, which is nice. Like we've never had to deal with that as a band, which is really awesome.
And the album is a few days away. It's Friday?
Yeah. Friday, yeah.
Hang on, let me bring this up real quick. It looks a little bit like that, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah, that's the cover.
Who
My
did the
wife
artwork?
did the art. She's done all 4 of the albums, as well as our live album too. So
that's rad.
Yeah.
Look out for that. And that's going to be available everywhere, I assume?
Yep. Worldwide.
Excellent. I'll tell my kids. My kids are giant fans. We have
awesome.
Diamond
That's
Ring
cool.
is on repeat in the car all the time.
Oh, cool. I love that. Awesome.
But what was the process? And we'll get to the banjos in a minute, because you've ordered a handful of banjos over the last few years.
I've been bugging Jamie every couple months here.
In a really good way. A really good way. But I know that there were a couple of them that you were like, I really would love to have it on the album, and we didn't quite make it. It was like middle of COVID and trying to just get things done. Yeah. But so what were the banjos that were used predominantly on the album?
I only used the Saratoga Star on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Another reason was we recorded it in Mexico City, and the thought of traveling with more than one banjo through using Air Canada was with one banjo it's a nightmare. With 2 banjos I don't even want to think about it. So I kind of had to decide that seemed kind of like the most kind of all-purpose one I had at the time. Yeah. So I got some clawhammer songs and some guitar pick and some 3-finger style.
Nice.
Yeah.
You just don't trust Air Canada, or?
Oh God, no, they're terrible.
Okay, just checking. So Air Canada, if you're watching, Colton's really into some endorsing air miles type thing.
Yeah.
Man, what was that process for you guys?
So we went down. It was March of last year. So one thing we had done on the previous record, Sugar and Joy, was we went down for a week of pre-production. And we kind of got a bunch of ideas we'd been working on. We sat down and jammed for a few days. Then we went into the studio and recorded kind of everything that we had. And it was a way for us to not only kind of like get song structures and kind of get a good idea of, half the album or a little over half the album, what it was going to sound like, or what it was going to feel like. But just to get a feel of like the area we were staying in, the studio, the people who worked at the studio, all that stuff. So we went down in March for the 1 week, and it was awesome. Like we came back with I think 7 demos or something like that after that first week. Like it just, because we hadn't written in so long. Like there was COVID. We did the 2 covers EPs over COVID, and then it was just touring, just madness post COVID. So we hadn't sat down and like jammed and just written songs in a while. So that first week was just like, it was like the old days again. Like we're just sitting together, hanging out and playing tunes. And then came back, listened to all the songs. Kind of another thing I'll do. You're asking earlier about like coming up with parts. Is I'll sit down and jam with the guys, come up with something that I can't play yet, but I kind of hear something in my head, but I don't know how to like play it yet. And then I'll go work on my own, and that's when I kind of get all the practice and the reps in, and then come up with like an actual part. So I did that, and then we went back in May to re-record the demos and then fully record the rest of the stuff. And we were there for 2 weeks, I think, in May. Yeah.
Why did you choose Mexico City? What was the connection there?
So we went away. The first album that we did away from home was Sugar and Joy. We went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Yeah.
We worked with Jimmy Nutt, who did he did Sugar and Joy, and he did the upcoming one, Chains and Steaks, as well. And it was just nice to get out of our hometown and just kind of like we were just in an Airbnb together, and it was just that was the whole focus. It was just like jam at night, studio all day. So we wanted to go away somewhere again. Our manager suggested Iceland because I think they have some good like government programs where even if you're not Icelandic, like you can get like grant money. So to help fund the album, but Iceland's so expensive that even with the grant money, it was still going to be pricey. And then our management team just suggested Mexico City, and we all just kind of went, that sounds really awesome. So yeah, and then Nate and our manager went down for a couple days and checked out a few different studios and came back, and we were just like, yeah, sounds good.
What part of town were you staying in?
Oh man, I can't remember what it was called. If I heard it, I would recognize it, but I can't remember.
Condesa, Roma.
Condesa. It was Condesa. Yeah.
Do you know that place? Do you know Mexico City, Dave?
Yeah. It's it's a great city.
Yeah, I've never been.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's got to be good. I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat commenting that the weather obviously was warmer than in Canada as well, probably. But that probably helped. But just to be able to get away and out of your space and maybe into somewhere new, that maybe just brings a different aura, I guess.
Totally. It's just, you're kind of excited, right? You're excited to be there, and that's like, you can bring that energy into the studio every day.
Yeah. Distraction free as well for the most part, I imagine.
What's that? Sorry.
Distraction free. So I mean, that is your sole focus of being down there is to like write and jam and record and do what you got to do. That's cool. Do you feel like you got the best out of the experience there, and does it come across in the album?
I think so. Like you're not going to hear like any real like it's still Dead South songs. I think it's probably the same songs we would have written anywhere. But yeah, just the experience itself was amazing. It would have been nice to have a little more time to kind of explore the city. It was mostly just like studio, Airbnb. Right. But yeah, it was like we had a really nice, really good restaurant kind of right down the street from our Airbnb. We went there every single day for dinner and had some delicious food. And it was good. It was an awesome experience. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I hope that you can like hear that we had fun. Not only playing the songs, but just like the whole experience itself was a lot of fun.
Do you, when you're writing an album, is it important for you guys to make sure that like every song on there can be replicated live, or is it just some of them might and some of them might not?
We have it kind of in the back of our mind that like we'd like to be able to play this stuff live. I think Scott is probably the band member who is the most focused on like really not adding too much, that when we play it live it's going to sound empty compared to the album version. But then there is some stuff that's like we've got some doubled guitar parts where like there's only going to be a single guitar playing it live and that kind of a thing. But for the most part it's all replicable live for sure.
But you don't do like live overdubs and stuff, do you?
No tracks or anything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What was your favorite song to record this time?
Man, that's good. Another single that we've released so far is Tiny Wooden Box. And that was kind of the first one that was like mostly done. We kind of like, when we went back in May for the full recording, I think we started with that one. Or no, actually, no, we didn't. But that was, to me, that was the one that I was just like, this song is like, that's the one I was the most excited for. I don't know. I really, really like that song. But they were all a lot of fun. And like, I wrote some, I listened to this metal band growing up called Protest the Hero. They're like a crazy prog, like Canadian prog metal band. And I remember reading an interview with them, where their guitarist said that like every part that he writes is like just kind of beyond his level, and then he records it and then forces himself into that next level, like practicing it, playing it live all the time. So I've always like that really struck me, and it's always kind of stuck with me. So I always try and write parts that are a little bit tricky and a little bit beyond my level. So it was really fun and challenging, like recording and writing all these banjo parts.
It's a good approach. It's a good approach. Yeah, I was thinking about because again, like the banjos that you've ordered, and we're going to get into those a little bit after you play us a tune in a minute at the halfway point. But one of them is an archtop, right? Which is it's about as bluegrass as you get, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's loud.
It's very loud. But I remember you told me that you've been listening to some older records and you were trying to kind of get that tone.
Yeah.
Did any of that older bluegrass stuff kind of channel its way through to try and grasp some of that older, more traditional sound or technique, or is it just kind of you doing what you do best?
A little bit. So there's one song we actually just released it yesterday. 20 Mile Jump it's called, and it's just like it was basically I tried to write like a Ralph Stanley banjo part, basically is what that was, and then I just we built the song out from there. It's just like a really simple A part, B part. It's like a minute and a half long.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so that was the one I was kind of the most. That's definitely the most bluegrassy. But then again, I don't like. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I don't really go in, especially if it's not like if it's like Scott came up with a song or Nate came up with a song. It really is just like what's going to be best for the song, and not like I want to get this kind of bluegrass feel or that I want to like replicate this player or whatever. It's kind of I just sort of just figure out what I think works best for the song, generally speaking.
That's awesome. All right, I need a tune.
All right,
Dave looks like he needs a tune.
So I've been loving this long neck a lot. Another guy I've been listening to lots is Clifton Hicks. I just discovered him, and two finger style. So for the last couple months, I've been learning a little bit of two finger style. That's why I played that two finger Cherokee shuffle at the start there.
Can we get a close up of the headstock there, just real quick before you look at this?
Let's see, the lighting's not great, but so the Deering guys have been kind enough to put all. There we go.
There it is.
Put these little. It's one of my little Twitch icons. They've been putting this on all the banjos they make for me.
There you go. Calico has that too.
The Calico's got it.
And the White Lotus.
And the White Lotus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then I put the nylon strings on this thing because I like Clifton Hicks, like those old kind of gourd banjos with the lower tunings. So this is just something I just kind of made this up. Doesn't have a name yet or anything. It's just a short and sweet little tune.
Yeah. Can you kind of explain the difference between like the two finger style and the three finger style from the
Sure. So two finger style, you can use guitar picks or the finger picks if you like. I find I like to play it with my just with my fingers. I think it just kind of differentiates it in my head a little bit. But instead of being roll based, it's like it's a little simpler, obviously, because you don't have a middle finger. And there's kind of two different styles. There's index lead and thumb lead. Index lead is the Cherokee shuffle I was playing, so all the melody notes are played with the index finger, and then there's other ones where all the melody is played with the thumb. That's thumb lead. From what I can gather, most players tend to do one or the other. There's some guys who do both. I think Clifton Hicks, one of those guys who does both, and he does claw hammer as well. But yeah, it's definitely more of an old timey style than the 3-finger like bluegrass style. And I love how it sounds with the low tuning and these nylon strings. I've just been like, I don't know, I've been kind of like my new little addiction with banjos, the 2-finger stuff.
What's kind of the sound that you like? How do you decide if you're gonna do a part in like the 2-finger style or the 3-finger style? Is there something you're kind of going, a vibe of the song or something like that?
So I haven't actually recorded or like done any 2-finger style with the Dead South. It's mostly just been learning like some traditional stuff, learning like Cripple Creek and Cherokee Shuffle and all that kind of stuff, and then just coming up with little things like this on my own. I still feel like very, very new. Like I'm no expert in the 2-finger style at all yet, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I always think of the 2-finger style because there's less notes, and so it's a little more easy to hear the melody.
Yeah,
because it's more you're playing melody versus the percentage of melody notes versus fill notes.
Yeah,
is greater.
Yeah, totally. And there's also a couple tunes that I've been like trying to come up with instrumental like 2-finger style versions of like some old punk songs and stuff that I've listened to. And it's a little bit easier to do that with the 2-finger than it is with the 3-finger, just because you don't have to. There's not like an extra like fingers worth of filler notes that you have to put in there. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's someone in the chat, Jan Central, saying we're pushing Colton to record a 2-finger album.
Yeah, eventually that'd be awesome.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I think when the after the touring dies down a little bit, I'll start throwing some of these together.
That'd be cool. Do you think you'd do some solo stuff? Kind of way, just kind of a banjo solo, or a really, really stripped down thing, or is it just kind of for your own amusement?
It would mostly be for my own amusement. I like in my head, I could probably record like a little 2-finger banjo album. I'm not sure how much I would play it live. It'd be more just like a recording project. I do enough touring with the band that I don't want to be away from home anymore.
That's true. You're a family man now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That sounds great with the nylon strings. What did you end up using? Because I know you were testing me about some nylons and.
So I went with the Aquilas. Aquila. Yeah. The stock ones weren't long enough, so I had to contact the company and like order just the uncut, just super long strings. But they worked well. So, and I didn't have to do any other setup at all. They fit into the bridge and into the nut and everything, so it was easy.
Oh, cool! They aren't too fat. They just fit right in there.
No, it slid right in. Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah. Alan Patterson is asking what is the model of his long neck. So just a Vega long neck, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah.
Yep.
VLN, if you will.
That's the one.
Yeah. All right. So I want to see the Calico.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that one. Calico is already just a monster banjo.
It's a monster. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's nasty. I love
it
too.
Yeah. You got the same crawdaddy inlay in the peghead.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love the white trim around the headstock too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is an arch top.
Yeah.
And that was you were kind of asking about that again after listening to a little bit of Ralph Stanley stuff and what was it about the tone that you wanted? Because we don't get a ton of arch top orders, and the Calico is already like it's a really punchy sound.
There's something about like those old, and it's probably just like the equipment that they were using.
Yeah, it could be the recording quality too.
Yeah, but there's something about those nasty old like 50s recordings that I really, really like. Like the decay is so fast, and they're so bright and so punchy. And I found a lot of the banjos I have are like they're a little bit warmer. And again, that might just be because like that warmth just doesn't come through on those old recordings. But I wanted to get something that kind of sounded as close to that as I could. So I asked Jamie, and he was like, "Do the Calico as an arch top." I said, "Sounds good." And I keep light strings on this one too. The rest of them I usually do mediums, but for this one I do lights.
Can we back up a little bit What is an arch top? Can you describe the difference between an arch top and a flat top tone ring?
Yeah, so the flat top, it has to do with the, like, again, I'm not very good with the actual like inner construction of the whole thing, but it's a different shaped tone ring, right? So the tone ring, the head sits on like it's about an inch or so in on the tone ring, which gives it like less surface area.
Right, you can see that there from
one.
here.
Yeah, and then so I think that like I don't know the science behind it, but I believe it's that smaller surface area that gives it that higher punch and kind of the snappier, brighter tone.
That's essentially it. If you think of the opposite to that, you know, in the claw hammer world, the popular thing is the 12-inch, right? So then you're going the other way. You're going wider, bigger surface area. So the way I like to describe it is think of the head like a speaker cone. Bigger the speaker cone, the bigger the bass response. But then that also has like the opposite effect. You know, the smaller the speaker cone, you're going to get more mids and different frequencies coming through. So with an arch top, you're effectively just bringing that. It's 11 inches down to, what is that? Can it be 10 and a half, maybe something like that?
Yeah.
And it just tightens everything up, and there's not less. There's just different resonance, different energy coming through the bridge, different frequencies. So you end up with. Give us a shot. Yeah. So give it. Do you got finger picks on?
Yeah, I do. I can grab some right here.
Let's have a quick. So the world can hear the difference, because it's a powerful banjo.
It is, yeah. This one is like, it's. I usually play it like I'm usually playing on my Twitch stream, so I got my headphones on. I got it going through my pickup and everything. And then if I take my headphones off and play it, I'm like, like it's loud. Like
I think you told me, you texted me after you got to it, and I was just like, yeah.
I was just like, dude, this thing is crazy.
Yeah, that sounds great. Really good.
It's nice, eh? It's a nice banjo. I like it a lot.
The complete opposite end of the spectrum. Though,
exactly. Yeah. From that's kind of what I've been going for too, is the extremes. The purchases.
Well, the thing with the Calico too is that the resonator, the inside of the walls of the resonator are tapered in like that.
Right. Yeah.
So already, just as a flat top, it's got a much bolder crack to it than say something like a Sierra.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of what it is, but you just kind of, I don't know, you just went on steroids with that one.
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone was asking.
Just give me the most bluegrass one you could give me. Yeah.
The most obnoxious bluegrass sound you can make. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Someone was asking, what's the bigger tone ring? I can't find the question now. You guys is on Twitch, like, go nuts. I love this because there's so many questions, but now I can't keep up. Yeah. Someone was asking, what's the bigger tone ring with the arch top or the flat top? They're both, I mean, diameter-wise, maximum diameter, they both have to fit on an 11-inch ring. So the wider is the flat top, because the what we call the bearing edge, where the head sits on it, is on the outer edge of the head, whereas the arch top is, what is that, like a inch in from the side, something like that?
I think so. Yeah, inch and a half, maybe.
Inch and a half. So that's the smaller head is the arch top, but they're still 11 inches at the widest point, because they had to fit on the same size rim. So
all right.
Hope that helps.
When we're in San Diego, I'd love for you to give me like a crash course in all this, because I'm not. I've been. I don't really know how they all work still, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes people ask me, and I'm like, I don't know. I just
for sure. So yeah, closer to the time, we'll get together and we'll get Chad involved as well. He does a lot of stuff with artists, and it'll be good for you to have some crash course on basic setup stuff as well. He's really good with that. Awesome. Kind of thing. He'd love to help you out with that. Yeah. Someone because you've got a really tight knit community in your Twitch community.
Yeah.
which you're quite well known for. And someone just commented that all of your banjos are named after members of your Twitch community.
Named by members. Yeah.
Oh, by members. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So guide us through. What are your banjos called?
Okay, so this is, and I'm terrible for this. I always forget. So someone might in the chat let me know. So this one, I'll tell you this one last because this was, I think, the first one named, and it was kind of a meme name. But this one here is Daphne. So this is
you pointing to the White Lotus. Yep.
The White Lotus is Daphne.
Daphne.
I love this one too, man. This one.
Are there stories behind any of these names? Or it's just...
Not really. It's kind of, I usually auction off. I say, here's the price. If you want to name it, like first person to name it gets to.
$10.
A lot of these have been named by my friend Priscilla, who's in the Twitch chat a lot. So I believe she named that one. This one we just named. The long neck is the Swan for obvious reasons.
Nice.
It's because it's got a long neck.
Excellent.
The Calico. Someone's got to remind me what the Calico is called.
All right, Twitch community.
I'm blanking on the name right now.
What's the
Clover.
Calico?
Clover is the Calico. And then the Saratoga Star is Nelly. That's the one that's on the road right now.
Okay.
And then last but not least is this one. This is the Little Wonder. This one was affectionately named Mr. Poopy Butthole by the Twitch chat. So I kind of had to put some rules in after this first one. So that's the that's the family right there.
That's the family.
Yeah,
oh,
and I also
man.
put the, it's a little out, but I put the nylons on this one too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You've had that for a while, that Little Wonder.
This was the one I bought. I was playing that one before you and I even started talking.
Yeah.
That was the first like deering that I bought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you had on the road. All right, let's hear I just want to hear the White Lotus just for a second.
The Lotus. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Wait. It's called Daphne?
Daphne. Yeah, you
That's
got
it.
it, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're better than me.
I got you. Conrad.
Yeah, that was Conrad. That was our friend Conrad that named.
Deering needs to make a poopy butthole signature band.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, let's do something. Beauty.
I have no idea what that was. I was just winging it there.
It was a demonstration of yet another style that you're nailing.
A little bit of claw hammer,
A
yeah.
little bit of claw hammer on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
The White Lotus is the one you played at the Ryman for the video, right?
I did, yeah. I took this one on tour. It's nice and light.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of the tone ring, but it's still got that really bright. This has kind of become my claw hammer one lately.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people play claw hammer with the open backs. This one I just find like still got that. It's nice and bright, but because of the lack of tone ring, it's still got like that woodiness to it.
Right.
And I don't know. I like how it sounds with the claw hammer.
Yeah, we're about to go release another one of those, but with a very different aesthetic to it. It's going to be very cool. Looking forward to that coming out. But yeah, they've gone over very well because they're pretty close. Can you play just a little bit of that with finger picks, just so, because I know that is one of the big things about that banjo is that it's lightweight, but it doesn't have the tone ring, but it comes pretty close.
It does actually. It's surprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
love your people are the best. They're just awesome.
Are they behaving themselves? I'm not really watching the chat too much.
They're behaving themselves quite well. It's just hilarious. Like Crawhammer keeps coming up, which just makes me laugh. Yeah.
part there. Also could have tuned this one before, but hey, there you go.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, it's a really good range of banjos. Do you find that when you pick one up, it kind of just because of its setup or the strings or whatever it might be, kind of just inspires you to play a certain way or a certain mood?
For sure. Like the Calico is like always. Anytime I pick that one up, I want to play bluegrass because it's just like
it's not really a clawhammer banjo.
What's that?
Not really a clawhammer banjo.
No, I feel like it's like a sin to play clawhammer on that thing. Like it's like, yeah. This one for some reason I don't know. It's got like a little bit higher action on it too. Like I said, I put the medium gauge strings on it. This is a good it's a really good all-purpose one. Right. I find that with the Star as well. And then the two nylons are just kind of my two fingers because I've been so into two finger lately. That's why I got two of them with the nylons on. So,
what was the decision behind taking the Saratoga out on tour this time around instead of the Lotus?
I just wanted to. We were having a little bit of trouble getting it loud enough. I think it punches through really great acoustically, but when you start to get really really loud, our sound guy was having a bit of a tough time having it punch through. So I'm just gonna see if it's any different with the Star.
I think it's no banjo player ever. It's not loud enough. No banjo players ever said that ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think it's cool that you're experimenting with so many different kind of tones and textures. You know,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that's good. Sorry, Dave. I felt like you were about to jump in on something.
Yeah, I'm curious about the nylon string ones. Are you using what pickup? I see a pickup on there. Is that the rare earth that you're using?
I got the Fishman on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the Fishman rare earth on all 6 of them now.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good pickup. It sounds really, really good. It sounds pretty much exactly how the banjo sounds, which is what I'm going for. So
you work with them, don't you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, they're good pickups. They do their job very well. So,
yeah, they're really
good replication. Remind me of your live setup. Are you just miking as well?
No, it's just right into the Fishman. So I got the Fishman pickup and then a Fishman EQ. It goes right into the EQ, and it's mostly like we'll adjust it a little bit, but honestly, like it sounds pretty good with everything just set right dead center. Yeah.
So no amps.
No amps. No.
Worry about
no effects.
Touring crew must love you.
Yeah. Well, in the early days, like we toured in a minivan for like the first 5 years because it was just 4 instruments and 4 dudes. Yeah. No drums, no amps.
That's true. You got a couple of kick drums, right? Or not?
Just one kick drum, yeah.
That's you. Is that your responsibility?
Yeah. I do the kick drum, and then Scott has a foot tambourine. So that's kind of how we get the percussive element.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So we're kind of coming close to the hour. We got a few questions, but I know there's a lot of you in here, so feel free to ask away. Jonathan in the background is going to star any questions that you guys have. Let's start. Dave, you want to pick one, then I can pick one?
Let's start with Michael Forbes. He's saying, does Colton have a favorite banjo?
Ooh.
Hard. Like, picking a favorite child.
Honestly, the first one that popped in my head when you asked that question was the Calico. I think there's something special about that one. It's just such a beast. And even though, like I said, I've been playing mostly 2-finger lately, like I love just an old, heavy, like bright, loud banjo. So I'd say the Calico is probably my favorite.
Nice. Just not on tour, maybe.
Yeah, I don't plan on taking that one on tour. I think it's a little too nice, honestly. I'd be worried about it getting something happening to it.
When you do your solo record, you can have it on there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. All right, I shall pick the other one. So we have been asked. I would love to hear from the Deering guys as well and tell us about the company, which is we don't really get asked that much.
That's a good question. I like it.
Sit back and enjoy your coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Colton, do you want to tell us about Deering and who we are?
Nah, you got it.
We are the Great American Banjo Company. I'm not very good at selling ourselves. I should be.
You just have to say what we are.
So we are the Great American Banjo Company. Next year, which is 2025, will be our 50th year in business. It was founded in 1975 by Greg and Janet Deering, and everything we make is made right behind me through the wall in San Diego, California, which is where we've been based since day one. It's where we do all of our manufacturing, and we have a whole lineup starting at around $500, going through sky's the limit, really. We're still trying to find Colton's limit, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can build just about anything you want, so long as it's kind of banjo shaped. That's really the only precursor to what we do. But we're very proud of what we do, what we create, and just trying to make the world a better place, one banjo at a time, and that's kind of the goal. But we don't make guitars, we don't make kind of gimmicky things. We try and make the best banjos that money can buy for every level of player, and 100% made in the USA. Did I get it?
Think
Yeah,
so.
man.
Yeah,
Right.
That's all right. There we go. Yes,
Perfect.
All right, Dave, your turn.
we just went through it.
No, another question.
Oh, another question. All right. Let's see. Christopher Williams, ever experiment with jazz banjo, plectrum, or tenor?
No, I haven't actually. I've never played either. I don't think I've even ever picked up and played a plectrum or tenor banjo, which is kind of crazy to think. But
Right.
that'd be a lot of fun.
We'll have to get you on.
Yeah.
And you flat pick already, so you have that going for you.
Yeah.
Are you going through Argentina or New Orleans anytime soon? Looking at it, what's good.
No.
Neither of
No
those
South
places.
America. I don't believe we have any New Orleans on this tour.
All right. Either of those places come up, let me know. We'll see where Dave's at, and then we'll hook you up with Dave. Dave's a monster jazz banjo player.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, and 5-string, but
So that'd be fun thing.
pretty handy on the jazz side of things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jazz is intimidating, scary.
Some call it unnecessary, but that's just me. No, I think it's great. I think what Dave does, and I'll just shout out to you because you've got a couple of singles out as well. But I think that style of tenor banjo is, I think, one of my favorites. And it's when it's used, it's just really, you can't help but just kind of nod your head and dance to it a little bit. It's very cool.
That's cool.
So, all right. So next question would be, what modern day banjo players does Colton love? I don't know what modern day means.
Alive. Somebody
Alive
that's
would
living.
be-
Someone alive, hey?
Yeah.
This is where I'm gonna this is another, I don't listen to a ton of banjo music, to be perfectly honest with you. I've been taking lessons from a guy named Wes Corbett. You guys probably know Wes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's awesome. He's been really helping me with the 3-finger. I've just been learned through YouTube and Banjo Hangout the whole entire career. So the last few months I started taking bluegrass lessons with him, and he's been just really helping me with lots of little things that after 12 years of playing I now need to correct. So that's been awesome. He's really, really good.
I'm going to text him right now. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. And also, I just want to clarify. You call him Corbett. Is it Corbett? Have we been saying it wrong the whole time, or is it Corbett?
I'm probably saying it
I
wrong.
believe
That'd
it's
be
Corbett.
embarrassing.
Oh, Corbett.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I've
sure.
always
Okay.
said it, but I might be wrong too.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that's
ask
Corbett.
him when you text him. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He's great because he would be a great teacher because he's a player that does all the big things, but the little things too.
Yeah, dude,
So,
his
filling
knowledge
in
is
those-
just it's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah,
Filling in those little gaps in your playing that you might have
you don't even
skirted.
notice them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been he's been really, really great. Listen to the Punch Brothers every now and again. That's Noah McKelney, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's awesome. But yeah, I know the Deering audience might not like this that much, but yeah, I actually don't listen to it too much. Clifton Hicks actually is a guy that I've been listening to a ton. I really like Clifton.
You prefer your banjo players dead versus alive.
I prefer him dead, man.
Oh my word,
Yeah.
David. Come on, man.
But
No, it's there's Wes is great.
Wes is
I've
awesome.
been-
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working with him quite a lot lately on a banjo and some picks. He uses our Pro picks.
Yeah.
And we've been, in fact, I need to reply to his email from yesterday. But he's got a pair of Heritage that we're working on releasing for him, which is slightly modified versions of the ones that we
nice.
produce, which is you've been trying to make him better. He's been the catalyst for like pushing us to do better stuff, which has been great. But just a really cool, down to earth guy. Really, really like talking to him. And,
Totally. I like him a lot too, and he's just an incredible player. Like he's
How did you get hooked up with Wes? Were you on similar bills somewhere along the line?
No, actually, he came across my Instagram. So I followed him on Instagram because one thing that I'm terrible at that I'd like to get better at eventually is improvising. I'm just so bad at it. Like all the parts that I play with the Dead South are like note for note, like I write them kind of thing. And I've just never, like I said earlier, I didn't grow up like playing or listening to bluegrass, so the whole jam aspect is just not really something. I grew up like metal guitar, so like when you're learning a metal guitar part, you learn it exactly how the guy plays it.
Right.
And that's just kind of always been my style. So I saw a video of him just improvising on something, and I thought that was really cool. I followed him, and then saw that he was teaching lessons, so I bought a couple of lessons and just to try it out, and it's been awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been doing or had the opportunity to go in person a lot with him or at all?
No, it's all just been on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty well geared up for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Someone just said Colton taking lessons may be the most inspirational thing I could have heard.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Which one will you choose if you can only play one style in the future? 3-finger, 2-finger, or claw hammer?
Oh man. That's a good question.
You're on an island. You can only take one style with you.
On an island, and I can only take one style. Hey, I was gonna say 3-finger because I could still play like 85% of Dead South songs if I did 3-finger.
Good answer. Good answer.
But if it's just me on an island, right now, today, I would say 2-finger. Ask me in a year, maybe a different answer.
That's very good. That's very good. Awesome. Awesome. We're at the top of the hour.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was a very, very quick hour.
That was,
it
flew by.
I know you've got lots of family time to have before you go away and all that kind of stuff. So we don't want to kind of hold you up for like too long. But you are a pleasure, sir. And really enjoy.
It was really fun.
Yeah. No, it's been really, really cool. Where are you wrapping up your tour? I read somewhere.
This first one ends in, it's that Winter Wondergrass Festival in Colorado, I think.
That looks like a good one.
Yeah. We haven't played it before, but it looks awesome. I believe that's like March 1st. Let me just check here.
It's in Steamboat Springs or something?
Yeah, that's the one. Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are you doing a whole lot of festivals this year, or is it just kind of a few here and there?
A couple in the summer, but mostly just venue shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. By the way, how was, I meant to ask you, how was London when you went over? Because you were playing,
awesome.
You were at the Roundhouse?
Yes, we were at the Roundhouse. I think your brother came to that show, right?
Did.
Yeah. I didn't get to say hi to him. I was bummed out about that, but hopefully he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he had a blast. The Roundhouse is a cool venue.
Really cool. Yeah, it used to be like, it's where the trains would come in and they would rotate them around to send them back out. Yeah, it's really cool.
All the original pillars are right there as well, like all in the kind of sometimes in the way, but it's just it's such a historical place in Camden, part of London. So it's I've been there many times to see. That's what Opeth metal band play.
I love Lotus. Yeah, they're so good.
That was different to the Dead South, but that was
totally.
Scary different. But it was good. It was a good show. So I'm good. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
All right. Any final words of wisdom before you head out?
I have very few words, especially of wisdom. So we'll leave her there.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure. Do you want to play us something to head out with?
Sure. Why not?
Just because we haven't done one more, we can knock this thing out. Hey, we wish you all the best with the album. I assume people can find it on all of the regular streaming channels.
Yep. Are you talking about like tour dates or?
No, like the album itself.
Oh yeah, album itself. It'll be out on Friday. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, everything.
Cool. Yeah. And then here are your links. Here's the website.
Yep.
There's the Instagram handle. Go check them out. Go keep in touch. For those of you in San Diego, we will see you in August at the Sound. I will make sure I'm wearing a Deering shirt, so please come say hi while we're in the venue. That'd be really fun. We should do like a meetup, like a Deering Dead South San Diego hang.
That could be cool.
That could be kind of fun. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
let's do that. Good luck with the album, man, and great luck. Best luck with the tour and everything. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
And we
Thank you so
appreciate everything you do to fly the Deering flag and all of your little community here. I think it's just fantastic. So
awesome. Thank you, man. And thank you guys for the support. I've absolutely loved getting to know you, Jamie, and working with you guys. It's been awesome. Yeah.
Likewise. I promise I'll get jiu-jitsu fit before you get to
We're going to do some rolling in San Diego for sure.
Bring a gi. We'll make it happen. All right.
Sounds good.
Do it. All right. Let's have a bit more two finger. Let's go. And we'll see you guys soon.